Live and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. An interesting day here at Radio Center. That's where we're broadcasting from today. Terry Henne along with Matthew Lester. And Matthew, it looks like that generator is finally kicking out the volts, huh?
Yeah, finally. It's been a long morning.
It sure has. I think some folks have had more than they bargained for. But I'll tell you, the engineers, they do a wonderful job with all this electronic stuff around here. If things don't go quite right, it doesn't know what to do. So we have to reset everything. It's kind of like Mother Nature. The only thing is you can't reset her. And evidently overnight, some of you did pick up some much needed precipitation. Others of you just enough to wet the palate, but that was about it. But hey, we'll take whatever we can get. Temperatures revved up yesterday. We were looking at 92 was the official high temperature out at MBS International. Some of you on your dashboards were looking at 96, 97 degrees, depending on where you were. It took until about 10, 15 minutes after 5 yesterday afternoon for us to peak out in that 90 degree range. And overnight last night, we really didn't drop down all that much. Matter of fact, our temperatures ever so slowly are working their way up as of right now. Matt, what do we have as far as thermometer readings?
Well, over at the airport, it's cloudy at 75. At Midland, it's cloudy also at 75. And here at Radio Center, it's partly sunny at 75. We have winds west at 8 miles an hour, and our pressure is 29.90, and it's steady.
Steady as she goes. We do have a low pressure system literally right overhead. It is moving in a northeasterly direction. And along with it, that trailing front, which has gone through the mid-Michigan area, and it does appear as though it'll be moving out of Michigan as we move into the later afternoon and the evening hours. As a result, we are going to see some bits and pieces of precipitation still trying to work their way through, but I think as we move into the afternoon, most of us are going to get a little bit more of a taste of sunshine. And then tonight, we are going to be looking at temperatures dropping down into the middle 50s, which is about 5 to 7 degrees cooler than average. We're going to have a light north and a northeast breeze, especially, or a northwest, I should say, especially as we go into the afternoon and the evening hours. But we're not really anticipating a lot of strong gusty winds out of this. And then tonight with clearing skies, 55, 56 degrees. And again, a north breeze right around 6, 7, 8 miles per hour. During the day tomorrow, we'll work our way up a little bit warmer, close to 80. We'll have more in the way of sun because a high pressure system, which right now is located over the Dakotas, moving into Minnesota and Iowa, is going to be clearing things out and looking at mostly sunny skies. We will have a northwest breeze tomorrow, 6, 7, 8 miles per hour. That's going to be it. And then that high is going to be moving away from us. So it'll become, the winds will become a little bit more southerly tomorrow night, but only about 5 miles per hour, not much at all. 62 for a low tomorrow night after that high temperature of close to 80. Then on Saturday, we're going to see some clouds. A front is going to be approaching. This front is not going to have the precipitation in it that we did experience over the last 24 hours, but it is going to be enough to give most of us, if anything, a glancing blow of a few glorified sprinkles, and that's going to be about it. Saturday's high temperature will be, again, right around 80 degrees. Light scattered shower activity into Saturday night, and then clearing as we go through the evening hours on Saturday night. A low once again in that upper 50 degree range, about 58. Then on Sunday, partly cloudy skies, 82 for a high, 60 for a low on Sunday, mostly clear. Monday, another system will be approaching as we move into the afternoon and the evening hours. That particular system really doesn't promise a lot of moisture with it, but the temperatures are going to begin to rev up. We're going to be looking at a high of about 88 on Monday, then cooling back down just a little bit to 82, 83 on Tuesday, and that temperature will hold into Wednesday. So again, a chance of some precipitation later on Monday into Monday evening. Again, a chance, not a good chance. Tuesday, still that chance around. Wednesday, still a chance around. Unsettled air. But again, we don't have the humidity and we won't have the temperatures other than Monday of really generating any strong thunderstorms. Bay City area picked up a little bit better than an inch from a number of reporting stations. You look around and very widely scattered as far as precipitation amounts go. Out at the airport, only about 0.4 of an inch. But in some places in the immediate Saginaw area, over an inch, almost an inch and a half reported. One of the reporting stations, 1.55 inches of precipitation. And then another reporting station here in Saginaw, 1/3 of an inch. Frankenmuth picked up about 0.7. Back 40 in Richville, I had 0.4. Port Austin, 1.3 inches of rain. Fillion, though, not too far away from there in the central part of Huron County, 0.45 of an inch. Bad Axe, some much needed 0.8 of an inch there. Vassar, as we said, Richville, Vassar, about 0.4 of an inch. We did have some unofficial reports coming in between Vassar and Millington of about 0.5 inch there. Cass City had 0.75 of an inch. Out of Cluck Nursery, they reported to me this morning that they had picked up 0.75 of an inch. That's out on Van Wormer Road out in the township area. Looking at Shiawassee County, Owasso, 0.6 of an inch. Durand, 1/3 of an inch. Genesee County, the most we saw was Burton, just under 0.5 inch. Everybody else, not even 1/100th of an inch. Lapeer had close to 0.4 of an inch of rain. A little bit more overall, higher amounts of precipitation in northern Michigan. We were looking at one reporting station, and I double-checked it because at first I thought it wasn't right. Greenbush, they got just under 4 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. Alpena had about 1.2. Rogers City, 1.1. Tawas had more than an inch of rain. West Branch looking at an inch. The Gladwin area right around 0.6 of an inch. I was checking on Standish. They had just under 1/3 of an inch, about 0.29 to report there. Up in the Mayo area, some folks having property up there, over an inch of rain in the last 24 hours. Record high in the state is 100, set back in 1988. The record low, 45, set in 1979, and tied in 1983. Now, Matthew, 1988, we had 3 straight days of record-breaking heat. This is day number 2. Yesterday, it was 98. Today, the record was 100. Tomorrow, 1988 record is 99. Then after that, beginning on the 8th of July, for 7 straight days, record high temperatures of over 100 degrees set back in 1936. So we had some pretty warm days back that year. You and I weren't around, so we didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, outside you can't really tell. It's not that warm out today.
No, it's not bad at all, really. Long range outlook to take us all the way through the 19th. We're looking for our temperatures to be slightly below normal. Precipitation values about average, maybe just a tad above. Sun will set this evening at 9:20. Rise tomorrow morning at 6:03. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have?
Up next, we have Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons.
All righty. Before we get to her, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Hey, they are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. So if you want to take advantage of the good things and protect yourself against the bad, might be a good idea to talk to the Michael Sarr Agency about risk management. Now, you can get a hold of their agents directly on their cell for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722. We say good morning to Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. Melinda, how's things looking today?
Good morning. We have corn up 9, beans down 20, and wheat down 21.
Boy, the beans can't buy a favor today, can they?
No, they're unsure what they want to do. They were slightly higher, and then they were down. With soybean meals trading higher and oil lower. Rain falling in Kansas are forecasted to move into southern Midwest, so a little bit of rain forecast there. The USDA Friday cut bean acres to 83.5 million acres, which kept prices elevated. And this doesn't quite seem like it's to the same tune, maybe a little profit taking it overbought. Brazil started a harvest, and it seems like their yields are a little better than expected.
Okay, now as far as the corn goes, you mentioned that's up?
Yep, corn's up 9 today.
Huh. And corn was having a tough time. I mean, when that government report came out, supposedly a lot of acreage went into corn and went away from the soys.
Yep, 94 million acres of corn is what they reported.
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of shoulder-high corn around the state. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, I'd say the rains over the last couple of weeks here have really helped the crop. Shoulder high to maybe mid-thigh, a little bit of a mixed bag, but just from how the corn matured, with some areas being a little drier in the spring and not catching the rains that others did.
So at this stage of the game on the board at the Andersons, what do you have?
We got a 520 for July corn, new crop corn at 443, January corn at 469. We got July soybeans at 1403, new crop beans at 1278, January beans at 1305, new crop red wheat at 580, and white wheat at 650. You
take care. Have a great day, okay?
You as well.
Will do. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. Doug Klein joining us now from Oppenheimer. The market report brought to you by Ed Raymond and Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Why don't you stop by and check them out? They've got a great inventory selection right now of all the products that you've been accustomed to buying at Ed Raymond's. 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning. Check them out by going to edraymond's.com. And by the folks at Steiner Tractor, new parts for old tractors made easy. Alice Chalmers, Case, Cockshut Ford, International, John Deere, Massey, Minneapolis, Moline, Oliver, and more. They keep a warehouse stocked with new parts for old tractors. You get the idea? You should. They've got it. All you have to do is give them a call. You can call them at 800-234-3280 or go to steinertractor.com. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
Sounds like they're flying the jets all around our boats and everything else again, huh?
Well, it's just play.
Yep.
That's what those guys do just when they're bored, I think.
Well, they took their iPads away from them, so now they got to do something.
Oh, boy. Well, we had a lot of data come out today. The jobs report came out, 497,000 jobs added. That was over double what they expected. I don't know if I believe the report, but it had the effect that they wanted, which was to make the market fear that interest rates are going to get hiked again, which made the stock market take a nosedive, which, I mean, it's not really election time, so it's really not the time to get the stock market going. You want to do it when so and so's up for re-election. So I guess that's what they're doing. Who knows? Bitcoin hit a 13-month high. I think that's kind of interesting. I just read a report that about 70% of Bitcoin that's out there is in strong hands, i.e. it just doesn't move. It's not for sale. So there's only about 30% of it that is for sale. So they're kind of thinking that if people start buying that, it could really run. So who knows? It's always a gamble. But I also saw that mortgage demand is dropping with interest rates on the rise. So that's an interesting thing. That kind of says that we're kind of sort of kind of in a recession, maybe sort of, and he's still going to raise interest rates. So that's not great. So, but at least we're not Argentina. 97% interest rates right now, 149% inflation. They got it all figured out. I think I can't even imagine living there, going day to day.
I think they're working out of the office down there in another country.
Oh my God!
Wow.
So, but anyway, we just live with it. Here is your numbers. The July corn 566 up 17 563 up 14 3/4. The December corn is 502 up 8.5. The July soybeans 1530 down 17 1/4. November soybeans 1337 3/4 down also 17 1/4. July wheat 640 3/4 down 21 1/4. And December wheat 679.5 down 10 3/4. Crude oil is at 70.82. That's down 98 cents. Heating oil is 2.46 down 3 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 2.50 1/4. That is down 1.5 cents. And natural gas is 2.60. That is down 4.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3361 at the border. That's up 83 ticks. The dollar buys 144.19 yen. That's down 45 ticks. The euro is at 108.66, up 15 ticks. The dollar itself is at 103.24. That's down 13 ticks. Gold is at 1916.80, down 10.30 an ounce. Silver is at 22.74, down 45 3/4 cents. That's almost 2%. Platinum is at 899.10. That's down 19. That's over 2%. And I saw copper running about 373, down about 1%.
Okay. All righty.
Deep breath.
You can take a deep breath now.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yep.
Take care, Doug. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've got 2 sprayer units ready to take care of you. You got to control those weeds. You need to apply foliar products. Might be a really good idea to give them a call and schedule something out. And you want somebody to help scout the fields? Not a problem. Get a hold of Vic at Freeland Bean and Grain because he can supply you with the answers you need when you got a question as far as your crop is concerned. Side dressing with corn, dry liquid, or whatever. Hey, they'll take care of it for you. Serving you since 1983, where serving you is their business. Freeland Bean and Grain. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Attention car and truck shoppers. I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet in Vassar, and last month I told you about the all-new, bigger, and better Chevy Trax, incredibly selling for only $20,000. Well, the response was through the roof. They're selling as fast as they arrive. So this month, we're offering the opportunity for customers to reserve one that's already built before it gets here. And we're suggesting that for all Chevrolets. And don't just take my word for it. Drive by any Chevy dealerships. Lots are getting empty again. With Blazers now only $262 a month and Silverados up to $50 lower, you heard me right, lower than last month, inventories won't last long. If you're shopping for any new Chevy, reserve one today. Only at Cook Chevrolet, M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year and includes all rebates. $22.55 on Blazer, $23.84 on Silverado due at signing. Call or visit us online at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Farm and Fleet. Oops, go ahead. I'll do this, and then we'll take care of some business from Ellen's. All right. Equality Roasting of Reese. They're presenting part of the farm program today. They offer competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. And by the folks at Krejak's House Family Restaurant. Got to supply the food for an event coming up? Not a problem. 989-894-5531. They'll supply the food for you. All you got to do is tell them what you need. Pick it up on the day of your event, and everything will go smooth as silk. And don't forget, Krejak's is a great place to dine in, too. Krejak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan, on Bay City's south side. Now let's hear from Ellen's.
Hi, I'm Don Ellens, owner of Ellens Equipment. After 70 years, Ellens Equipment has grown from a single store in a small town to 3 locations across central and northern Michigan. I am very passionate about service and doing what it takes to keep our customers going. As we grow, we are looking for more technicians to add to our service team to provide our customers with the quality and service they deserve. If you have that same passion and want to join our team, please apply at ellensequipment.com/jobs.
Okay, on the line with me right now, I think we got Jerry Samalski, right, Matt? Yeah, at Bay Landscaping. Jerry, good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, Terry. Hey, today is the day we're going to talk about roses.
All right.
So lots, I keep saying this, but it's so true. There's so many varieties of roses and plants out there, even no matter what it is, maple, roses, spireas, there's hordes of varieties. So the American Rose Society recognizes 20,000 plus varieties of roses. So when I say a lot of varieties, Terry, that's a lot of varieties.
I know you've got quite a few in the nursery. Kind of give us an idea of what you think would be a good highlight.
Well, there's nothing like the good old knockout rose. That's been a standard in the industry for the last 10 years. Fairly disease and insect resistant, about 3 to 4 feet, multiple bloomer, red, yellow, white, pink flowers, which, choose your poison. And they bloom. The thing about roses is, and the reason there's so many varieties, they've been around for so long and they've been hybridized forever. And so, they're just great plants. They bloom for a long period of time. That's why they're so popular. They get rebloom. So they'll have color now, and they'll continue to have color in through October. So, that's the attraction for roses.
Well, the nice thing,
a lot of them.
Excuse me, Jerry. I was just going to say the nice thing I like about the roses is I don't have to worry about deer or rabbits or anything like that chewing on them, especially the ones that have the little thorns on the stems.
Well, actually, some of the deer in the hardcore areas, they'll eat the thorns and everything. So, but you got to be in a real heavy deer area. But but they're not too bad. And again, carpet roses, about 18 inches, 2 feet tall. Climbing roses, they'll grow up 8-10 feet. So there's all kinds of choices to choose from. The shrub roses in between 3 to 6 feet, some of the varieties. So yeah, all kinds of choices, and just fill your garden, use them where you need them. Although they do want full sun. They want to be baked. The hotter the better.
All right. Good advice. Jerry, take care. Have a nice weekend coming up, okay?
Yes, sir, Terry. Thank you.
You bet. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Over to the Michigan Bean Commission's Joe Kramer we go. Joe, let's talk a little bit about that rain. I think our dry beans really liked it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, Terry. For the I heard we got a little bit of water damage over in Montcalm County, and a guy told me up in the Marlette area that he might have a little bit of water damage today too. But all in all, I think guys are smiling about them. They are working on weed control and probably starting to think a little bit about white mold control.
What about the markets? Let's talk about that briefly.
Well, we had the crop report on Friday that I think surprised me a little bit. I don't know if it did everyone else, but I think our acreage came out as being down a few thousand acres here in Michigan, and I expected it to be at least even and possibly up. The Mid-Neck region, I think they expected that to be down a little further than it was. So when the August report comes out, which is actually a summary of grower reports, I think there'll be a little bit of a correction there, and we're actually going to have a few more acres than than this report said, but the market's very quiet. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of concern about having enough beans or having too many beans. I think shippers are busy shipping, and buyers have the coverage that they expected. They just hope Mother Nature helps us get it harvested, and everybody's in good shape.
Now, again, as far as the acreage goes, have really much of a confirmation as far as that Mindak area? Because I was of the impression, too, that I didn't think there was going to be as many acres there as what the report showed.
Well, I was surprised at that, but there's a few things that come into that picture, in my opinion. Number one, pinto beans are a big piece of that acreage, and there's a lot of brown bag seed out there that's unaccounted for that ends up in the ground from year to year. When I think back on last year and what growers had for a yield and what they got for a price, it didn't seem to me that there would be a reduction in acreage. I thought they actually were pretty happy with the way last season spring wheat prices out there. I sort of saw more acres, but I was definitely in the minority. So I think the jury is still a little bit out, and maybe in August we'll get an update based on actual farm submissions to the FSA office.
Well, you have one more person in that minority joining you. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks,
Terry.
You bet, Joe. Take care. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. We'll be right back. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444.
When it comes to protecting your field from disease and environmental stress, there's Revitec fungicide, and there's everything else. When it comes to unparalleled power, there's Revitec, and everything else. And when it comes to speed and stamina, this is Revitec. This is everything else. Nothing else comes close to Revitec fungicide from BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. Stop by any of their conveniently located offices and find out how they can become your hometown financial solution. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A new plea just entered in the classified documents case. Correspondent Scott McFarland has our top story.
Standing just feet away